Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Here.
Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
Here.
Commissioner Walde,
Here.
Commissioner Caldwell,
Here.
Commissioner Blevins.
Here.
Okay,
Cool.
and Mr. Dunlap is absent. Reading of the public notice, and we'll follow that with the Pledge of Allegiance. This meeting of the Board of Commissioners will take place electronically in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, specifically NJSA 10:4-9.3. Notice of this meeting was given by one public advertisement with sufficient notice herewith to the Home News Tribune. 2, filing in advance written notice of this meeting with the city clerk's office, and 3, posting this notice on the public website of the Housing Authority. During the meeting, participants, including members of the public, may be muted by the host. However, there will be an opportunity for them to participate and speak during the public portion of the meeting, where participants will be unmuted at their request.
right.
At this time, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of the United States of America,
and
to the republic for which it stands,
under
one
God,
nation,
under God,
with liberty
indivisible,
and justice
with
for all.
liberty and justice for all.
Love the cadence.
Secretary report, committee report, and then I'll save the public comment until after our informational item. We have an update on the Penrose Hildebrand Commons on Nielsen Street, long overdue, 15 years. They're moving pretty quickly, getting the footings in, and I sent some commissioners by there to take a look the other day because there's a lot going on. So it appears that the ribbon cutting will be, even though they started, it's designated for July 13th. I'm going to help them get settled with that. Everyone's going to be invited. I'll just separate the commissioners in various areas at the staging area, but I think it's monumental for you guys to be there. I think it would be wrong. We're not going to be discussing any kind of business or huddling up.
You should build a monument for us, actually.
Long time coming.
It's so long.
They have Penrose and the individuals have all your email addresses. You'll be getting a virtual email, and then we'll go from there. But and also Section 3 applies. I gave them a list of 12 people from our community that they're going to hire. Not all 12. They only took about $700,000 worth of federal monies, and they have to adhere to the rules that go with that. And considering I'm the Section 3 officer for the city and for the county and locally, I got a little more work on my hands to do. But I think the people across the street already warned them about how serious we take that job and the responsibility of individuals that come from our community to make pretty good dollar amount over the next year. So I'm excited.
Awesome.
And we'll go from there.
I have a
Also-
question for you, Dan.
Yes.
They have all the financing in place?
It's all done. This
You
thing,
done? Okay.
they're
okay.
building.
Okay.
All their finances came through various sources, but I guess they had to use some federal dollars, and with that, it triggers the employment part of it,
Mhm.
and giving local people an opportunity to work on a construction site.
Okay.
Great for us.
Yep. Then demolition and new construction of NBHA property and all other redevelopment properties currently under contract or about to be under contract or under agreement. I'm going to turn this part over, the first part of that, the demolition of the new construction, proposed new construction, to Chairman Wright, and then I'll jump in from there. So just a minute or two, give us a little update.
Oh, on the project for Schwartz Robertson?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this is moving along swimmingly. I've been in communication with Joe Manfredi, our counselor, just about exactly what we needed to communicate to HUD for the Section 18 demolition disposition. The idea being that we petition the HUD to be able to do the demolition, and then we phase construct out, as we've talked about a number of times, across that site. It requires municipal support, even though we're operating on federal land, which is functionally our land. It does exist inside of a city, and it should make sense inside of the scope of the city's plan for the future. I've been in contact with City Hall, and they are actually very pleased about the direction that we're going in terms of addressing this. And I just got communication from the public information officer for the city, JT Miller, earlier this afternoon that we should have the letter by next week. We just want to make sure that it says exactly what it needs to say, communicates the mayor's support for this project, and just how we intend to roll it out. So this has real momentum, and once we're properly aligned with the city, we can then put together our packet to send to HUD for the Section 18 disposition. And this has been real the entire time, but it's even realer now because everybody's aligned with the vision of getting new, clean, updated, safe, functional housing to the folks that need it across our site. So this is honestly phenomenal. I can't communicate to you how happy I am about it, but it's taken a lot to get to this point, and this point is start. It's like the starting line. It's taken this much time to get to the starting line, but it's we're here, and this is very exciting.
And Chair, you should truly be commended because there were some times that I kind of just threw my hands up and you just took the ball and kept going with it. So for that, I thank you. And
Yeah.
it's great. And every day a phone call rings about someone connected to this and wanting to see it happen. But
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, we're moving along with it, and I know we want to form a formal committee and things like that, but all of these steps had to happen in order to be at, again, what I'm calling start. So, we're having the conversations with the city and just getting on the same page about what we see for the vision of this, so that we can all work together to make this happen as smoothly as possible. So,
Yep.
more updates to come.
Okay, so Zach, I'm sorry, what is it that is being sent to HUD?
So we are going to communicate to HUD that we intend to proceed forward under the Section 18 of the housing code or what have you. And in order to do that, it's not just our intention and our wish to operate on our grounds because our property exists within a municipality, even though it's federal land, it's inside of a city. You want to be on the same page as the city's vision for its own future. Because there's a lot of coordinated effort. We have county roads, we have city roads, we have municipal pipelines, we have our own for utilities and things like that. So everybody has to kind of want this and be on the same page. So those initial conversations were between the housing authority and city hall about what works in New Brunswick and how we can, take the least amount of steps to get to the goal, right? Then we get a letter of endorsement from the city.
Right.
We package that with our packet to go to HUD, and we say, this is what we all feel we want to have happen here. Can we move forward under the HUD guidelines? And
Okay.
if everybody's on the same page, it makes a more compelling request.
Okay, so the
They
first
wouldn't-
first phase,
Right.
Correct.
All right.
And if I may, Chair, I just wanted to add, from a standpoint of what's required, that is one of your requirements, that you do have that interaction with the local government and get their approval as far as proceeding. So that is something that HUD's looking for in the application, and we wouldn't be able to proceed without that. So
Yeah,
Okay.
and there's real positive energy downtown about doing this. So it's just making sure we're taking the right steps now, while the dust is settled before, the process after this, before
Yes.
we're sending out RFPs, we're entertaining developers, and we're talking with the county and the state about pipelines that need to get moved and potentially widening sidewalks and yada, yada, yada. We want to have a succinct vision that we can all stare at and say, we want this. And so that's what that initial communication with the city was about. So it's just getting their endorsement to move forward, and then we'll prepare a formal presentation of the options for the site. This isn't, we're going to build what you see. This is, we're in favor of building something.
Okay,
That's what
that's
the
good.
endorsement is.
Thank you for the clarity, only because we've already, when things go out into the community, so people have been already, the rumor is that it's being torn down immediately. Where am I gonna go? Where am I gonna live and everything? Which I know already, we had to have the first phase. And that's of course getting all those agreements for this. So,
yeah,
but
and
that is something
Commissioner-
that eventually that our residents will have to be, cleared on, that this isn't something happening immediately, like not next week, we're not saying, you're leaving or anything like that.
Correct. What'd you say, Counselor?
Yeah, no, I was
Yes.
just going to add that is another step of this process, is obviously having those meetings with your residents and to go through that. So that's another step that you are required to do. So
Absolutely.
all of that will be part of this. There's certainly not going to be any surprises or anything like that pop up. So
Exactly. And keep in mind, Commissioner Hernandez, we did have that initial meeting with the residents. We brought out, there was a significant turnout to it, 100 plus folks for the announcement. And like you said, our intention gets lost in communication when they go
Exactly.
home and they talk to their friends and like, well, they're going to do this. And they say, what, tomorrow? Absolutely not tomorrow. We just have an intention to move the thing forward. So now that we're getting on the same page with the city, we'll likely re-engage the community again and
That's
say,
very,
hey, we now have these development ideas. Some of them are 3 stories tall, some of them are 5 stories tall, some of them have a park. That will be down the
yes.
road. But we had to get to, we all want to do this first, and that's where we are right now. So once we get that letter of endorsement back from the municipality, we'll be able to push forward. And I hope you hear the excitement in my voice. This is
No,
this is
I just want to make sure that with the clarity with our residents and everything like that. Like I said, we know that there's a phase. We can't just go and start knocking things or digging things up and everything like that.
it's not
Just
what
so
we're
that the
doing.
residents are in clear understanding of what is going on. This is
So
something that is not immediate.
let me just stop this, because I think we've been very clear to the residents. We've written it to them in English and in Spanish. We've gone door to door. We've had a meeting with 100 plus.
Yeah.
We had our uh, um, news media people out here recorded. We sent them record people who were in the hospital who happened to miss it, who thought they were leaving within 30 days. I mean, I've never heard that before, but that did happen. The woman was scared, so I was kind enough to send the reporters um, entire video there. We had a Spanish translator here, and yet still some things got twisted around. How that happened, I have no idea. But I think we've done everything possible on the due diligence end. And counselor, that is the first step. You must have the first step with the residents of the community, which we did last year in the summertime. And now we need a couple other things. It still doesn't mean it's going to get built, but HUD requires certain action to take place throughout. And now we're at the phase of City Hall. But this other talk of they don't know, they do know, they all know, that I can guarantee you.
Excuse me, Mr. Toto. I'm not
100%.
saying that they do not know. I
Right.
did not say that. And I think that Zach understood what I was saying. What I'm saying is that communication as far as rumors and within our community, because people carry on and say things. So some might believe that things are happening immediately.
Right.
And
Yeah.
yes, we do understand that this is the first phase. And we know what we have to do and then what the second phase would be. So
Yeah.
that's why just keeping it up and knowing that. And so then that way it does not become a rumor factor that things are happening immediately.
And it's
Yes, you
good.
are doing on your part what you need to do. And I commend you for doing that
There
and
you go.
keeping the residents informed on this. No matter how much we might provide information and everything, a lot of times it's a hearsay type of situation that might occur.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you hit the nail on the head, Commissioner Hernandez. Folks, the message gets lost in translation, but I can tell you, Toto's boots on the ground, and nobody's managing the message better at the front office than him. So I'm really excited to be working with everybody's got good intentions, and the momentum we have is fantastic. And like I said, this is an area I grew up in. I want to see this happen. So
Absolutely.
A
cool.
lot of it falls on the commissioners too, because you guys are in the community, you guys hear it, you guys see what's going on, and your guys are going to be you're going to be the champions of this. The message is
Yes,
going to be even stronger from you. They're going to be like, "Well, we pay you to say it," but
that's
you guys are
exactly
there.
why. That's
This is
exactly why we
Commissioner
reformed
Hernandez. This
because
is
of
your
him.
backyard. Yeah,
That's
100%.
why I have been asked plenty of times already.
Yeah,
That's why. So
yeah,
that's anything.
that
Okay.
makes
All
sense.
right then.
Dr.
Thank you.
Caldwell, I see your hand up, Dr. Caldwell.
No.
No, Caldwell had his hand up.
Okay. I wanted to acknowledge, but he's on mute. He's saying no. We're good. I see him.
You know. All right. Thank you.
Okay. So that's my report on that. Nothing but good news, but still steps to go.
Thank
Great.
you.
Mr. Hoffman, I know he's on his phone this evening. You're still on mute.
I think you can unmute him.
I don't think I can. Let me see.
You should have those
Yeah.
powers
You should be able to.
as the
Let me move this. I've got to. Oh, here he's getting on now. I mean, he's been on. Ah. Okay. I've always got to keep my eye on who else wants to sign in or come in. Mr. Hoffman, hit the button. Let me see. Ask to unmute. There you go.
You getting it? No?
Yeah, he's coming on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Hoffman, we can hear you
Good.
now.
Good.
Before we move on to the resolutions, is there any update on the other redevelopment projects that came before the board? Have you heard anything from any of the 6 or 7 that are still?
Well, that would be the first thing I would like to do if the board would like me to do it. I'll give you an update on all of
Yes.
the,
100%.
projects.
100%. I know we sent
Yes.
some letters out and communication around those
it's correct.
projects. All right, let's do that now. Mr. Hoffman, you have the floor.
Okay. The first project is the Jersey Avenue NB Urban Renewal. It's on Jersey Avenue. It was the large mixed-use project consisting of 660 residential units, about 1,279 parking spaces, and commercial and office and retail space. We sent out the 90-day letter about 60 days ago. We've got no response. So if, assuming we will get no response, we will terminate them as of either I'll have to check the exact date, but it's either the end of July or the beginning of August.
Perfect.
The second is a sovereign consulting project that's on 131 Jersey Avenue. It's a flex warehouse and office. Likewise, application has been pending for many years. Well, I've given them also the same 90-day notice. The third development is New Street Associates. The location is the Elks Building on 40 Livingston Avenue, and that was a 24-story mixed-use development with 407 residential units, ground floor commercial, and 350 parking spaces. When I went back and looked at it, they filed an application, but they didn't file all of their information. So they never requested a hearing, and this was over a year and a half ago. So what I've done is sent them a letter, said their application is stale, it's rejected without prejudice. If they want to come again, they have to come with a whole brand new application.
Perfect.
So they're done. The next is NB Plaza owner, and that's the property, the church property, the large project, 800-unit residential building, retail spaces and amenities. What's happened there is that there has been a litigation against the project. The lower court decided in favor of the city and the housing authority and the developer. The opponent to the project appealed, and it's in the appellate division now. Under our agreement, if there is litigation that is not the fault of the redeveloper, there's an automatic stay of the time for him to start construction and take other actions. So there, we're just waiting to see what the appellate division decides.
Okay.
The next is on Livingston Avenue, the Millennium Bank property. That project, the developer has filed a new application. There's some information he still has to file on the financing and construction schedule. The application is different than the other one because one or two of the lots that he thought would be included are not being included. So right now, we're just waiting for the developer to give us further information. My anticipation is that at the next meeting, that application will be before you.
Okay.
Now on the actions to be taken for tonight. The first action.
I have question
I have a-
on the.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Hold on, guys. 1 second.
Go ahead.
Is that the conclusion of just the recap of where we are, Councilor Hoffman?
Yes, there is. There are 2 applications that are going to be before you tonight.
Okay.
One of which is Fulton Square, and one of which is the Hub project.
Okay. And before we move to that, we did have questions from the commissioners on that. Commissioner
Sure.
Walde?
Yeah, I know so many apartments are being built, and I know they're mostly built for maybe upper middle class individuals or families. Have all these projects done any marketing studies, or I mean, because the supply is so much, and I don't know if they can get renters, and it's not geared for low or moderate income people.
I'm not sure that they've done marketing studies. It appears, however, that some of them are having problems getting financing.
I have a
Be-
question.
Because
you're
of
done.
that,
Hold on.
because of that, Mr. Hoffman, because of the
Well, I think the financing is there is as you indicate, there are a lot of apartments being built. And I have not seen any marketing study, but I'm assuming that their marketing study is not satisfying the banks or whoever's
Mhm.
going to finance the projects as of now.
Okay, that's what I'm afraid of.
And Jersey Avenue, I believe the developer there went bankrupt.
Okay.
Thank you.
Commissioner Hernandez?
Yes, I have a question. The first property you spoke about on Jersey Ave, which you just mentioned, so what I needed to know, what we need to know, who is going to be responsible if that company went bankrupt in that cleanup? It's a major, very dangerous, all that's around there.
Mhm.
Well, they own the property, so they're responsible.
So, okay, so
It
are
would be
we,
up to the city or somebody in the enforcement offices to enforce the cleanup of the property.
okay,
I think, however, there has been some contact between, I think, which is the financial partner and Dan Dominguez's office talking, the financial partner talking about coming in and modifying the project. That's what I've heard. But as far as we're concerned legally, we will be terminating them within the next 30 days.
okay.
Is that okay? So any other questions from the commissioners?
I do, if I got a minute.
Commissioner Georgiano?
So, yes, thank you. So, in the next 30 days, the project is null and void, right? I just lost my train of thought. And the
Yeah,
city
and
may come
after the
in.
next 30 days, I was sent letters saying you're hereby terminated as a redeveloper. So it's no
Right.
longer a redevelopment project.
And also on another one, 131, you said that they were getting a letter too. Has a letter been drafted and presented to them?
Yes,
Like, was that done 30 days ago? So they have another 60, or what's the time
that
frame
was
on
done
that?
around the same time.
Okay.
They have another 30 days. They, however, had contacted me and said that they had an access problem with the county getting onto Jersey Avenue, and that's what's been holding them up. And they applied that they're gonna come back with information and I guess they're gonna have to reapply now because I said, look, as far as the housing authority was concerned, you've had a long time for this. You're being terminated. If you want to come back with another project or whatever you're gonna do in the future, you of course have that right.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the commissioners before we move on to the second part of Hoffman's presentation? Councilor Hoffman, if you want to continue.
Yes, I will. We have a resolution to approve an amended and restated redevelopment agreement between the Housing Authority and Downtown Hub Associates 3. What this is that downtown, the Hub project is divided up to two major projects. One that's being built now, where the Rutgers Medical School will be located, and other entities. And the other will be the Nokia project. This downtown development 3 is the Nokia project. Part of the Nokia project was also what they call a paseo. It was an open area between both buildings in which restaurants and cafes are going to be built. So what they've done is assign that part to a DEFCO entity, and the DEFCO entity is going to construct, it will be involved in constructing the cafes and the restaurants. And Nokia, or the developer for the Nokia project, will be involved in constructing the rest of the Nokia project. So what this does is to say for what they call the Paseo project, and that's about little less than 4/10 of an acre. And it's a rectangular right in between both projects. The project is supposed to cost about $5 million. And it will be starting within 30 days after we approve this amendment, and will be done in about a year. So that's the DEFCO entity that'll be doing that. The Nokia project has asked for I guess they're redoing whatever they're doing on their project. They need some time to come in with the final concept plan and what their timing is. And they've asked for within a year to do that. My understanding is they'll be there sooner than that, but they're right now, they just had a closing on that property, which they bought from the parking authority about 2 weeks ago. So what this resolution does is approve an amendment which permits the DEFCO Associate, New Jersey Innovation Associates, to build on what they call the Paseo lot in the middle, building the restaurants and the cafes and whatever else will be in there between the two buildings, and with the construction cost of about $5 million, and the construction starting within 30 days after we execute the agreement. And it also permits the Nokia project, the downtown Hub Associates 3, to come back to us within the next year to give us the exact concept plan and their exact plans for construction. And also the cost of the project. I think they're financing it through Provident Bank, but just confirming all the financing. So it's a positive event. I mean, they paid substantial money for the property. So I'm sure the project's gonna be going forward. So that's what this resolution is, to approve that amendment, which is the assignment to the DEFCO entity for the Paseo and permitting the Nokia developer to develop the Nokia site, but coming back to us with more specifics.
And Mr. Hoffman, if I may add as the board secretary also, that is resolution 29. We'll be voting on that later. We're just adding these two resolutions as open property, redevelopment property entities. That's why he's giving it to us in an informational item piece. And then, Mr. Hoffman, if you can kindly talk about resolution 26, that's before the board this evening also.
Are there any questions on this resolution? Dan
Yeah.
Furman?
We
We
can
have a
come back
couple.
to that. I think we have to come back to that as the board secretary and it should be done during the voting process.
There you go.
Okay. The next resolution deals with Fulton Square. As you may be aware, Fulton Square was a development in the Sanford Remsen redevelopment area. It's been extended on multiple occasions. It's a heavily, unfortunately, contaminated property. We had told the developer that, that they had much time and we were gonna terminate them. They came back and originally said, well, give us another year. We've gone through we spent a lot of money on trying to remediate the site. And because of the condition of the site, they're gonna have to change their concept plan. They would not be able to build the way they wanted to build. So they originally came back and said, we'd like to file a modified concept plan within 9 months after this revised agreement. We'd like to submit the site plan 3 months thereafter. We'd like to commence construction 9 months thereafter, and we'd like to complete the project 2 years thereafter. I told them I thought that was not, the housing authority would not be amenable to that, such an extension of time. So what we came down with was that they must file a modified concept plan within 4 months from the signing of this agreement. They have to submit to the site plan, to the plan where within 3 months thereafter, and within 3 months after site plan approval, they have to obtain all permits. And then after getting permits, they have 90 days for construction and 2 years to commence. What we also put in that all of these dates are crucial dates, and if they miss any of the dates, we have the right to send a letter of termination.
Which we will.
And I think the city would like us to grant this extension because it's a heavily contaminated property that they'd love to see cleaned up. And the developer, I guess, has spent sums in starting to do the remediation. So it's the recommendation is that we give them this shortened time frame with the clear understanding that if they miss any of the dates, we can send a letter of termination.
All right.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. They have a lot to think about. In a couple of minutes, we'll present the two resolutions and any questions they may have of you. So please stand by. At this time, we're going to continue with the consideration of meeting minutes from the past. I know everyone, I got it out to you guys. Hopefully, I can get a motion in a second to put that to rest.
I have a motion.
A second.
Thank you, both, Chair and Vice Chair. Sorry. Roll call. Chairman Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Walde. Your go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was muted, unfortunately. I had questions on both of them.
You have questions on the minutes?
Oh, no. Oh, okay. Not on the
Save
minute.
your questions for the resolutions.
Resolutions.
The
We
resolution.
just wanted to give you an overview because it was all lumped together. So you have the overview on all the projects that are going on, and it just happened to be the last two redevelopment projects were lumped in with that, where Mr. Hoffman kindly gave us a rundown, but we couldn't take a vote on it yet. We'll take a vote on it in a couple minutes, okay?
Oh, okay. I'm
But
sorry.
you can ask all your questions at that time.
Okay.
Um,
Thank you.
Commissioner Colwell, on the
Yes.
minutes?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Blevins?
One question. Is this the minutes for the May meeting?
April, May.
A,
No, well, no, there was no, okay, sorry, you're right, Commissioner Medina Hernandez. We had some technical difficulty in
Yeah.
May. So it was the carryover from the one prior.
That were sent out. Yeah.
Okay, that was my question because I was not able to log into the May meeting, and so I would have to abstain from that one.
Yeah, no one logged in.
Uh,
We just couldn't do it. We were
Oh,
all
okay.
guests
Yeah.
and we had no host.
And actually, if I
Okay.
may, Chair, if I may,
Hold on one second. Commissioner Caldwell?
yes, that technically, you don't have to be there. If you believe the minutes are correct, you can approve the minutes. You don't have to be there. That's why I'm approving it.
Yes, and that's correct, Commissioner. You don't have to be there as long as you have, in all of the knowledge that you have, you believe it's accurate, you can vote for it. Now, obviously, you do have a right to abstain from it as well, but you can vote for the minutes without actually physically being there.
Thank you.
I'm actually a yes because you've explained the situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Blevins. We appreciate that teamwork there. And Commissioner Dunlap is not with us this evening. So let the record reflect, motion passes.
All right.
Okay. Thank you all. At this time, I did want to add this. I got to add this real quick. I know you guys are busy. So we made headway on a digital divide grant for everyone here. I found a couple of loopholes. State of New Jersey has a $20 million. I've been waiting for this for a long time. So we put together a tremendous grant. It's in front of them now, and we should hear by mid August or mid September. But I'm counting on August, and we're really excited. And the good thing, Zach, is that it's going to be done a little differently than running wires into people's homes, right? Because if we have a plan to hopefully one day demolish this stuff, we don't want to waste good money. And it's really good. So I got the packet there. You guys can read through it and see how we're going to have it done. And it's really, really good. It's kind of like the cameras. You take them down, you unplug them, you move them to somewhere else where you want it to go. It's the same kind of concept here. And it'll provide not just the children of our community, but also their parents free access. So I figured a long time ago if some areas around the country were able to do it. And when I went to that Miami conference, I said, we're going to do something like that. And we've been waiting for this money to be released. So I think we came in pretty lean, asking for the funds from the state government. That's really federal funds. And let's see what happens.
This would be
That's
really
all
cool.
I can
too.
say right now, but I'm really excited about that. Okay.
Yeah.
At this time, any comments from the public?
We have a hand on 9697.
Do I have to?
Yes, hello,
Okay.
commissioners. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yes.
Great. Yeah, Charlie Cradaville, New Brunswick today. I have a number of questions, so I'll jump right in. What was the reason that the Helix resolution was added? It's not on the agenda that's on the website.
You talking about the Nokia project?
Yeah, the Paseo.
It was added because they came to us and said that that they had to get this done. And they just, Charlie, they waited till they had their closing. They don't want to do it till after they couldn't do it till after they owned the property. And the closing just occurred about
Sure.
2 weeks
I think
ago.
I was at the meeting where that took place too, but you know, there was ample time to add it to the agenda. I mean, the agenda is usually released the week of the meeting or,
Well,
week
I
before.
can only tell you what I knew, and then I dealt with the developer and sent it over to the resolution over to the housing authority.
Got it. Okay. Well, I'll move on. There was mention of a ribbon cutting or maybe a groundbreaking on July 13th. I just want to confirm that's the correct day. It's a Sunday.
I'm not aware of it, but
For the pavilion project downtown, Toto, that's July 13th.
I can see he's checking, so I'll ask another question while
I'm pretty
while
certain,
that's being
yeah.
researched. Yeah. How about I appreciate for one all the updates on the different outstanding redevelopment projects.
Yeah, that's the 13th.
What about Borei's 11 Spring Street project? I asked, that one was not part of the memo. That did not was not mentioned today. Is that in compliance?
I did not take a look at that. So I can't answer you. I
Is
can't
there a
answer your
reason
question.
that? Yeah, is there a reason that one is not being
I just,
evaluated?
I wasn't that involved with it, and I just overlooked it, to be candid with you. But I can
Okay.
take a look if
So-
the housing authority
Not
tells
bad.
me.
Yeah, not bad to look into it. Counselor, if you want to take a look at
I
that
will.
project just to
I
make
will.
sure that we're up to snuff on it.
Okay.
Thank you. Also, I do have a pending Oprah request. Was trying to get data on the payroll and how much folks were paid for work last year. Can I get a status update on my request?
Well, two things, Charlie. One, I have a wedding to go to on the 13th, so that was not for the senior center. Sorry, I knew the number. Yeah, it's July 22nd,
There you go.
Okay.
and I can
Thanks.
put your name down for a virtual invitation if you care. Unless you know somebody, you think you can just walk on the site. Feel free. But that's the best. Like, they want a list of people, so I've given them a pretty good list. And yeah, so that's the 22nd, and I guess
Great.
the time will be in the invitation. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't, that it wasn't the date that was said. But how about my Oprah request for the pay?
So we spoke about that. I gave you a salary listing of people's salaries there, and then we spoke again. And I run a pretty lean office here as far as part-timers go. I haven't hired a full-timer in a while, but Marie tells me that she's had a lot on her plate. The compensation that you're looking at will probably involve people's health benefits, selling back their time that they have so they don't lose it, which we offer in late or early winter. We give them that option before the end of the year. So I'm waiting on her to put together that information that you're looking for. But I did set you off with, is that correct, Charlie? I gave you the initial salary guidelines that everyone here is making.
Yes, you responded with the record that you thought I was asking for, and I, informed you of what I was really looking for. So I appreciate you looking into it, and Maria, appreciate her help. I did want to ask about timing on these redevelopment projects. There were a few where it was said that at the next month they're going to be terminated. Is that going to happen by an act of this board at the July 23rd meeting? Is that the expectation? And
No,
is that,
Charlie, it's already
within the
happened.
90 days?
It's already happened.
Okay.
The board told me to send them the 90-day letter. And after the 90 days, I will write them a letter saying that they are terminated unless some miracle happens, which they want to come back to the board. I will write to them and say that they are terminated as a redeveloper.
Okay. Well, yeah, so just a little bit related, the next meeting would be the annual meeting. So I guess it'll be 6:30 p.m. and the reorganization at the top. And I'll, as usual, try to attend and record and broadcast. But I know that it was unfortunate the last meeting had to be canceled. And I wanted to suggest, since there's no August meeting scheduled, if the board wants to not go for 2 months without a meeting, scheduling something in August might make sense. And I also think, long overdue to have in-person meeting. You know, I think the best of both worlds is offering a remote option, but also offering an in-person option. I think you've seen when you have the in-person option, different folks show up, including many of the residents of the homes you run. So would love to see you know, at some point, you know, a hybrid meeting, and would suggest you do that, and also suggest you look at the bylaws. I know there's a number of committees that are supposed to be meeting. Do we know, are there committees meeting?
Charlie, who do you want to have answer? Are you looking for an answer today?
Sorry, I'll direct the question to the chair.
I know we've had committee meetings when there's committee work to do. I'm aware of that.
Okay. So just looking at the bylaws on the website, I see 4 committees that are standing committees: Community Relations Committee, Operations Committee, Human Resources Committee, and I guess it's the annual subcommittee. And then there's another reference to a Finance Legal Training Committee. I don't know which of these committees exist, who's on them, or you know what their meetings are, but there are some things in the bylaws that it says should be done in advance of the annual meeting. You know, including looking at the bylaws and evaluating potential changes. But I know those things were supposed to happen a couple months ago. I'm not sure if they did, but I just wanted to draw your attention to it. And I'll close by making a final, or well, hopefully a final plea that the website be improved. There's you know, a lot of issues with it, including you know some of the information about the board meetings. But you know, again, my biggest area for improvement that I'm suggesting would be the redevelopment page. As you know, you're taking a hard look at all the projects that are pending, but you wouldn't know it if somebody goes to the website and clicks redevelopment, because there's still the same 3 paragraphs that have been there with no plans, no maps, no info on what projects are pending and who's doing them, or what you're doing as far as holding these redevelopers accountable. So I think that, you know, that's an area of the website that should be fleshed out. And I've been saying it for many, many months. So I don't know what else to do, but you know, I'll continue to raise up that issue, and you know, here, I guess asking and offering to help if there's anything I can do to help.
That's fantastic. Do you build websites, Charlie?
I have some experience with websites, but I also, you know, I'm a media professional. I know a lot about content and computers and the internet, and you know,
I want to formally do this inside of this meeting, and forgive me if it breaks form for the way that meetings typically operate, but I encourage you, I implore you, I plead with you, Charlie, to use your resources for the betterment of our authority, to make things easier and better for our residents, and give a hand, right? We run a pretty skeleton crew here, so I know we want to get you everything that you asked for, and I know you asked for a lot of things, but our first priority is to our residents, and we want to make sure that's happening. So if you do have some expertise in this space, you are invited to sit at the table and bring it, so long as it is in the assistance of the folks that live to which we are stewards of here.
Great, you got it. I'll follow up with Mr. Toto, and would also, you know, look forward to you know, dialoguing with you and having some discussion about the authority and how I can be of assistance.
100%, 100%. I love folks that help. I have feelings about folks that hurt.
Fair.
Especially
Appreciate you.
Chair.
Thanks for your answers. That's all.
Thanks, Charlie.
Appreciate it.
Chair, especially with the looming cuts that may or may not be coming.
Yeah, that's
It
an
doesn't
elephant in
look
the
pretty,
room.
guys. It doesn't look pretty. Dr. Caldwell will tell you it's going to be pretty scary the next 6 months, but we're going to go ahead, and I'm not listening to rumors. I want to see the cuts be. I'm sure they're going to give us 60 days notice, but we're in position to absorb a lot, and I think we've done a really good job at not refilling a lot of the positions that were here full-time with benefits. We made a really good deal with Franklin. That's helped, and collecting the rents is challenging, but we've done a really good job with that as well. And every little bit's going to matter to save people's jobs. So, okay.
Cool.
At this time, Chair, I think we're done. If anyone has questions in regards to what we just covered, if not, we can close that part out, and we can move to the resolutions before us.
If we don't have any additional questions, I got a hand. Oh, that's Charlie's hand from the previous. Looks like we're good. If we have no questions from the commissioners, right at this point about anything prior to we're going to talk about the resolutions when it's resolution time. Nothing. Cool. I say let's close it out and move forward.
Okay. A motion?
I'll motion.
Great. Second? Dr. Caldwell? Great. Roll call. Chairman Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes, yes,
Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Walde, Commissioner Walde.
Frozen high five there. Yes.
Oh, I heard him.
Okay.
Commissioner Colwell,
Yes.
Commissioner Blevins,
Yes.
and Mr. Dunlap is not with us. Let the record reflect motion passes. Great. At this time, we've got NBHA resolution number 25, resolution approving, authorizing, and ratifying payment of bills for April 2025.
I motion.
Great.
I second.
Thank you.
Pay bills.
Roll call. Chairman Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
yes,
Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Walde. I see you. Commissioner Colwell,
Yes.
Commissioner Blevins.
Yes.
Let the record reflect motion passes. Dunlap absent. NBHA Resolution 26, resolution approving revisions of the redevelopment agreement by and between the Housing Authority of the City of New Brunswick, acting as redevelopment agency, and Fulton Square Urban Renewal LLC. Mr. Hoffman is here to answer any questions. This is the period of time you guys can ask some questions, and Mr. Hoffman can give you the answers.
I think Commissioner Walde he said 2 questions at the top. Let's get that out first, and then Commissioner Giorgiani had questions too. Commissioner Walde? On mute.
Did we
I just asked him.
lose him?
No, I'm looking at him right now. I just don't think.
No,
we're
I'm
ready.
saying the mute. Was there
I-
anybody else who had questions?
Well, we can go. I think Commissioner Giorgiani had questions, and we can come
Thank
back
you.
to Commissioner Walde.
I
Commissioner
was
Giorgiani?
just, what Mr. Hoffman was saying about the Fulton Square, with changing the agreement basically around of doing, what was he talking about? The 90 days, the 2 year, to have completion of the project in 90 days, had to be getting ready to go to construction. Then he mentioned something about, what was it?
Well, let me tell you, the first thing they have to do is get us a modified concept plan within 4
That's it.
months. Within
That's
4
what I'm
months
talking about, right?
from the date we execute this agreement. So assuming you execute it within the next week or two, within 4 months, they have to get this a modified plan. Assuming we approve that, they then have 3 months to submit it to
3
the
months.
planning board. And then,
Right.
once they get the approval of the planning board, they have 3 months to
90.
get all their permits.
90 days, right, to get
That's
their
right.
permits complete.
And then after they get all their permits, they have 90 days to start construction and 2 years to complete construction.
Complete. Yeah, I thought it was interesting to get that all set up that way.
Well, we
But
wanted to set
before
it
you
up,
end up-
we wanted to set it up so that there would be milestones, because this project has taken so much time. There would be strict milestones that if they don't meet it, we can then terminate it.
Right, that's what I meant, from what it's been changed to, well, with the milestones, it seems like a great idea. So this way that everybody's on the same page, but this way we're moving forward, because like you said, it's been a long time. And then this way, everybody has to come and do their part, make sure everything's up to date and doing the thing. Being held accountable, put it that way,
100%. Yeah.
which I think is great.
Yeah.
That was it for me.
Do we get Commissioner Walde's audio sorted
My
out?
man's got the iPhone here. Hold on, I think he's trying to call back in.
Okay, I'm sorry. My
we go.
computer just froze. That's why I had to go on my phone.
We're
Okay.
waiting for you. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, you want me to put the questions for you?
So you want to let him know which resolution the question, so he's,
Uh,
Resolution
29, I think the first one.
Yes.
Um, I look at the building every day. Do they have a parking space there? The Nokia building.
They do not.
No parking for both buildings?
They've made the arrangements with the parking authority to park in the wellness deck.
Jeez.
I-
With all
Not
those.
to interrupt, but I thought we were talking about the Fulton Square.
Yes,
Right.
thank
That was
you.
part of
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm
resolution.
sorry.
We're doing
And then we were gonna
resolution
move on to
26.
the
I'm sorry, I was
Nokia,
off,
and I
that's why.
pronounce it right, Nokia project, right? I'm
Right.
sorry,
Yes.
I didn't mean to interrupt, Chair. I apologize.
No problem. It's a great point of clarity. That is specifically what we're speaking about now.
Commissioner Walde,
Yeah.
we're
You
going
want
to
me-
talk about the Fulton Square. It's
Oh,
resolution 26. We're going to get to 29 in a second. So do
okay.
you have any questions about the time frame in which Mr. Hoffman has negotiated for us for them to get started?
I have, because I think they extended it like 3 or 4 times. Do you think the development cost still the same? Because it's been 7 years.
I think the cost will be different and the project will be different because environmentally, they found that certain of the areas that they wanted to build, they are, for residential, they will not be permitted to build.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry about the confusion. My
No,
computer
that's
was
okay.
off. Yeah.
We got disconnected and
Yeah.
Commissioner Giorgiani took up all the air in the room about. I'm just saying, it appeared to
fine.
be, but it was good. There was good questions. So now I'm going to jump ahead to resolution 29 while we have Mr. Hoffman here. Resolution approving.
Are
Well,
we done with resolution 26?
Oh, shoot, yeah, sorry.
Are we done before we move forward? No questions, additional questions on that? No? Okay.
Okay, so we have to stay with resolution 26. At
Correct.
this time, if there are no questions, I'll need a motion and a second on resolution 26.
I
So move.
motion. Oh, so second. I'd be terrible in Family Feud too. I'm thinking too long. You're right on the buzzer.
So we're talking about 26, right? Fulton Square?
Correct.
Correct.
Yes.
We don't have, okay. Sorry. So moved by Medina Hernandez, second by Wright.
Correct.
Okay. Roll call. Chairman Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
I recuse myself.
we'll say abstain. Okay. Commissioner Walde,
Yes.
Commissioner Caldwell,
Uh-oh.
Commissioner Caldwell.
If
Hold on a second.
Sorry.
My windows were open in my car, so I had to run out there.
Oh,
Close
boy.
my windows. So I'm yes.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, can I suggest that since Commissioner Hernandez did not vote, she reclused herself, she should not participate in the motion, so somebody else should please move it.
that makes sense as well. And given that I seconded her,
You're correct. You're absolutely correct. My apologies on that one.
I see
Remove my motion. Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani there as well. Are you motioning?
Yes, I'll motion if you need someone to do that.
I'll second.
Okay, let's start all over again to clean the record up. Motion by Giorgiani, second by Wright on resolution number 26, Fulton Square Urban Renewal.
Correct.
Roll call. Chairman Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Commissioner Medina Hernandez.
I recuse myself.
Okay. They abstain. Commissioner Walde,
Yes.
Commissioner Caldwell again, sorry.
Yes.
Commissioner Blevins,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunlap is absent. Let record reflect. Motion passes with one abstention. We're going to move forward while we have Mr. Hoffman here. We're going to go to resolution number 29, and we'll come back to the remaining ones after. Resolution. At this time, Commissioner Chairman Wright and legal counsel Camacho, I had heard something earlier that this wasn't posted, so I'm going to take the liberty now to walk this on through a motion in a second, just in case it wasn't posted. I believe it was. I don't want to have a litigation issue later or someone trying to stop us from not procedurally doing this properly. So we can walk, we have that right to bring a motion forward from the floor. So,
Yes, you do.
Mr. Camacho, lead us through it, please.
Yeah, so you can go ahead and read that into the record. This will be, again, this would be resolution number 29.
Yep. Resolution approving amendment to amended and restated redevelopment agreement between Housing Authority of the City of New Brunswick acting as redevelopment agency and Downtown Hub Associates number 3 LLC as redeveloper and acknowledged by assignment of the redevelopment rights. I'll need a motion in a second on that project. Sorry, there should be questions right now. I know Commissioner Walde had a question on 29. But procedurally, we're going to walk this up until I could see what the gentleman said earlier about not being somewhere. Commissioner Walde?
Yeah. So again, so the parking will be provided by the parking authorities. That's what Mr. Hoffman said.
That's correct. My recollection is that there's a lease for 500 spaces in the wellness deck. Now, remember, this is a transit-oriented project. So one of the reasons it's across the street from the train station.
Yeah.
So the thought is that many of the employees will come in by train.
Oh,
But there is a lease between Nokia and the parking authority for no 500 spaces, which can get reduced over the years, but it's for 500 at the beginning.
yeah. I go to the gym there, and it's almost every day is full.
I think that the parking authority will be moving some of whoever's parking there now, they will be moved to a different deck.
Or you have to find a new gym.
I know they allow us to park mostly on the third floor.
Yeah.
But if you drive up, it's always full, because people go to court somewhere downtown, and it's always full. And
You got to start going early in the morning, man.
Yeah. Excuse me?
You got to start going. I see you there on those in the afternoon. You got to start going early in the morning. You're talking about parking. You're there at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
No. I go there in the morning. I'm retired.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know how they are going to resolve it, because we're talking about 2 offices, big buildings, Rutgers, and then Nokia coming in, and then shoppers coming to the different stores downtown. It's just amazing that they build this kind of building without any parking space. As it is New Brunswick, you don't have any parking. It's just it's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know how we approved it.
They seem to believe that the deck can absorb it through whatever traffic studies and things that they ran, and that is for a completely different committee.
That's correct. And the redevelopment plan didn't require it.
Right.
Remember, you implement the plan. So it wasn't your decision. There should be no parking. It was the city council who made that decision.
Yeah.
I don't know how I voted.
I think what it comes down to also what Mr. Hoffman was saying, because it's being looked at as a transit type of environment, because you also have behind the train station, that's the commuter area as well too. So that's probably what they looked at it as. I do have a question. Mr. Hoffman, just clarification. So this is something involving with DevCo. You indicated. Okay.
Yes, DevCo will be the developer of what they call the Paseo, which is this about 0.3 acre lot between both buildings.
Okay, just wanted to get a clarification, make sure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right,
Wait, we got one more, Commissioner Giorgiani.
When you were talking about this area in between the 2 buildings, I was under the impression the restaurants were going to be located inside each of the buildings facing that area. Is that correct? Or now there's going to be a separate entity, meaning Devco, doing these restaurant and cafes? Is it going to be an actual structure? Is it changed? I always thought that you'd have that area in the center, and we'll just say, if your back was to the train station, to the right would be the Rutgers, the lower area there would be restaurants, and in Nokia, which would be on the left, they were going to have restaurants in their place that would overlook onto this area, this community area, I guess, whatever you like to call it, or what you named it.
The Paseo,
And
they call it.
Right.
I'm not sure exactly. I think you're right that some of the portion of the restaurants will be in the building. It will come out into this, because this lot is about 300 feet long and about 50 feet wide. So you're
Right.
not going to have you'll have tables
Right.
there and cafes, things of that nature.
Exactly, and that was my point. Was now with the way the construction happens, I know sometimes in New York or stuff like that, they're talking about having this area with Devco and then being in there prior to the construction, correct, of the Nokia building. So I guess there's got to be an issue where things will be shut down there, or they're going to have a whole safety thing where, not just the walkway bridges. We built one over
Mhm.
an area like this in Manhattan on, what was it? It was Manhattan West, in between the two buildings where the project was going. I was just wondering how they were going to, I don't know, figure this out. Because it sounds like that'll all be done prior to the Nokia building being started, correct?
I think it will be. It's supposed to be
Yep.
done by June of next
Right.
year.
It's
And Nokia, I think, will probably start a little bit before that, but not a long time before that.
Mhm. Okay, that was my questions. Just curious.
Okay.
No other questions? Matt Ferguson from council, would you like to say anything this evening?
No, I'm a little under the weather, so I'm sort of
I
hiding,
feel better.
but
Great.
everything sounds good. The only note I'll make is the redevelopment plan with the parking was not just a city council decision, that would have also had to be vetted through the planning board. So just to keep that in mind. I mean, there are multiple entities looking at the parking for Nokia and the medical school. I also believe with the medical school, they have other parking facilities for the medical students in the Robert Wood Johnson campus. And there has been discussion about having some of those folks park in some of those other facilities related to Robert Wood Johnson or Rutgers, and potentially having shuttle buses. So
And there's also talk about new parking facility on what they call the Mayfair lot, where the county had their engineering building.
correct.
And that would be a rather large, my understanding, a 12 to 1,300 space parking garage.
That'd be fantastic. Any other questions, commissioners? No. Seeing none, Dan, let's move this forward.
Okay, I need a motion in a second to close out resolution number 29.
I'll motion.
Move.
Moved by, sorry,
Sounds like
You're-
Walden.
Yurgo, sorry,
Mm.
Commissioner Walde. Okay, roll call, Chairman Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
I recuse myself.
okay. Commissioner Walde,
Yes.
Commissioner Caldwell,
Yes.
Commissioner Blevins,
Yes.
let the record reflect, motion passes with one abstention and one absent. Great. Thank you, Mr. Hoffman. I don't think we're going to need you this evening. I appreciate getting me everything on a timely manner, and thanks so much, and we'll talk to you this week.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Great.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Okay, so just for the record, Resolution 25 has passed, 26 has passed. We're at Resolution 27. This is a resolution approving, authorizing, and ratifying payment of bills for May 2025.
And 29.
We're gonna get to that. So 29
No, you-
cents, we have one more after. So this is resolution 27.
Thought that we just did 29.
For the Nokia building.
Right.
Yeah, that's done.
Yeah,
29.
you were
Right.
making
That's
a
what I'm saying.
clarification
29
of the
was just-
resolutions that were passed.
Right,
Mhm.
because I kept Mr. Hoffman's, I joined them together, and when I got this, I
Okay.
had already done the resolution at that point, so they were scattered in my list of resolution summary list. So I had to go back and do the ones we haven't done.
Makes sense.
Everybody okay?
Yeah,
right,
everything's fine. Go ahead,
so-
move on.
This is the second payment of bills. This one is for May 2025. I need a motion and a
I
second.
motion.
Move.
Waldy moved. Okay. Roll call. Chairman Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
Yes,
Commissioner Waldy,
Yes.
Commissioner Caldwell,
Yes.
Commissioner Blevins.
Yes.
Let the record reflect motion passes with Dunlap absent. Last resolution, resolution 28, resolution approving the digital infrastructure initiative with the DCA designed to support our 259 garden style apartments in the public housing for public housing clients. It's just a letter of support to them that went with the application grant.
Move.
Second.
second.
Waldy moved, Medina Hernandez second. Roll call. Chairman Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
Yes,
Commissioner Waldy,
Yes.
Commissioner Caldwell,
Yes.
Commissioner Blevins,
Yes.
and motion passes with Mr. Dunlap absent. Are there any other questions? Is there any need to go into executive session or anything like that before we adjourn for the evening?
Mr. Toto, I might have missed this, but did you actually pass number 25 for the bills from April? Or was that inadvertently skipped? I just don't want you to close the meeting if that one, I might have missed it.
it's, oh, sorry.
Please enlighten us, Ms. Hernandez.
No, because we said for, the resolution was for May 2025.
Yeah, that was the other one that we thought I had to go back to because it was in between 26 and 29. But I thought when we started it, I thought, okay,
Motion for it.
yeah, Councilman,
We
very
did do
nice.
25.
Yeah.
We did, right? We
Yeah.
did April.
And we did April as well.
Okay, my
I had
I
it
just
written
wanted to
down
make
that we
sure.
did 25. Yeah.
We
just
did
wanted to make-
April 2025 and May 2025, Matthew.
Yeah. So Matt, we were going to buy you a drink for being eagle eye, but now you're buying all of us a drink. How about that?
You got it. I just wanted to make sure so everybody, bills got paid for April, so.
Yep. Thank you all.
All right,
Okay, any
perfect.
other questions? Dr. Caldwell, great seeing you. Chair,
We're motioning to adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
All right. I motion to adjourn. We just-
Second.
Second by Waldy. Roll call. Chairman Wright,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Commissioner Medina Hernandez,
Yes,
Commissioner Waldy,
Yes.
Commissioner Caldwell,
Yes.
Commissioner Blevins,
Yes.
and Mr. Dunlap is still absent. I just want to add one thing. We have been keeping a really good eye on the seniors, on all the residents. We purchased a great deal of water and Gatorades. We handed out in English and Spanish invitations to come here and stay cool for 4 or 5 hours during the day and watch TV. We've opened up the community room to them and we've given them drinks. And it's cute because like more kids come and then like their older brother or sister come. And once in a while we get a call from somebody to drop something off. But it's worked. That was our weather advisory to them. And the residents were very appreciative of
Great.
that.
thank you. That's great. Thank you.
guys.
Thank
Call
you.
me if you need anything. I'll see you all soon.
Catch you guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. Have a good night.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.